Hey all, greetings. Today I'm making a charcoal frankincense soap. I thought it sounded interesting, and I do have a lot of soap making ingredients, and so I thought I would try some different recipes. So far what I've done is in this measuring cup I've put olive oil, the coconut oil, the apricot kernel oil, and the castor oil, and you can get this recipe. Will be posted down below or on my Wanda website. Now I'm getting ready to measure out the cocoa butter. Now, this particular brand comes in what they call wafers. However, somewhere along the line, these melted. And so they're no longer wafers, they're like chunks. So I need 4 ounces. I've made sure to zero out my bowl before I started. And there's my, oh, went back down. Interesting. I'm gonna do, let me see what happens if I take out these big chunks and put all this little junk in here. Okay, we need 4 ounces, and that's 4 ounces. There we go. Let me go see what Marco Polo needs. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh out the lye. We need 4.1 ounces. Of course, you have to be very careful with this. I've written a ton about it. It's a very scary thing, and you need to really respect it. Okay, 4.1. Come on. There we go. Okie doke. Okay, that's the 4 ounces of lye. And then I'm gonna press tare on that. And we're gonna measure the water, which is 11.5 ounces. Okay. And I'm going to put that there so I don't get the two of those confused. Put this one over here. Okay, now, here is a really tricky part. Is the activated charcoal. Okay, activated charcoal. Let me say this about the activated charcoal. It's the craziest stuff ever. It goes up in the air and gets everywhere. So you want to be really careful with it because it'll stain. Because it's black, it's charcoal. So if you'll watch me, we need 3 teaspoons of this. This is going to be part of the swirl. See how it's already getting everywhere. I don't actually need to be measuring it. One. 2. 3. This activated charcoal is really awesome in soaps. It's very cleansing and it removes impurities. And it's kind of cool to have a soap with a black streak in it. So I want you to see already what's happening with the little Yeah, I gotta get that off right now. All right, so we're gonna do two things here. We're gonna take this pot and put oils, solids, and liquids in this pot and get them heated up. And as you can see, that's a sticky mess. So you want to make sure that you really scrape it out good. See how I'm doing that? Okay, we're going to get that heated up because that's going to take a little bit to melt this guy here. The cocoa butter? Yeah, it's going to take a little bit to melt that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the stove, and I'll be right back. Okay, and the next thing that I'm going to do while that oil is heating up, all those oils are heating up, is I'm going to go ahead and take my water. I like to do it in a bigger container because you just never know with this stuff. And I am going to take this outside and combine the sodium hydroxide with the water, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's take a check here. 150 on the lye mixture, 144, 150 on the oils. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to hang out for a little bit, and we're going to stir and move it around, and that will cool it off. You could put it in the fridge if you wanted to, but never leave it unattended, ever. Because if you put that in the fridge, somebody might come along and it would be a horrible thing for someone to drink. Probably it would be death. So I'm going to stir this, and it's a hot pot, so I'm moving it around on the wood. See if we can lower the temperature on that a little bit. Check the temperature. Okay, it's still, they're both 150, so I'll be back with you in a bit when I get the temperatures down on these. I've got a serious professional sized soap mold today. I bought this for myself a while back because I do make a lot of soap, and these soap molds with the wooden frame, they're just better. They're especially these ones that are handmade. There's so many things about it that are great. It keeps the sides straight and they don't get floppy as it's cooling off, and it's also a larger loaf, you'll notice, than other ones I may have made. And we probably won't fill this guy up today, so we're not making a giant batch. But it's just a really nice quality silicone also. And this comes out, this end part comes out as well. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, these guys are getting cooler. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the process started. Put that over there. So I've got all of the oils melted here, and I'm going to pour the lye in very slowly. And then I'm going to start stirring with the stick blender. Now this is going to be a little bit different soap in that when we get to trace, we're going to take some of it out, mix it with the activated charcoal, and then after we pour this in the mold, we will be swirling that activated charcoal soap into it to make a pretty cool looking thing. So I don't know if you can see that pretty good there, yeah? This may take a little while, so I'm going to stir. And this is how you usually want to do it, is you want to do it on low. And I have the head of the stick blender on the bottom of the pan, and I'm not lifting it. And you stop and you stir. See that? Just kind of stir it around a little bit. I can go to high. That does a little bit faster job, but don't be in a hurry. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. We're gonna keep going on this. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see. Trace means that when the soap drops off, it leaves a little trace on the surface. I'm hoping you can see that. All right, so right now what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off because there's just no good place to lay it when it's got soap all over it. And I am going to, I think I'll use a dipper, that might be easier. And I am going to put some of this soap in with the charcoal. Okay, and then I have my mini whisker, and hoping that it doesn't get too messy. This is going to be really hard to see because it's black. Whoops. And it's aerating, so you want to really be careful, get it off all the edges. So I got it all over my glove. And it's going everywhere because it's on the sides of the bowl. But you want to make sure that you get it nice and mixed up. Okay, you want the activated charcoal mixed really well in with the soap, okay? I also wanted to mention that I didn't record when I had put some frankincense in at the very end before I poured the white batch into the mold. So sorry about that. All right. I'm actually going to take this glove off because I don't want to get the black in the mold there, although I may. Okay, here we go. We're going to pour the soap in. You can see that it looks like pudding. This batch is really ready to go. See how chunky it is? Looks like a pot pie. I don't know. You want to get as much as you can out of here because it is going to be a little tricky to clean, as I've mentioned in other videos. Okay. Now, what you always want to do, slamming it on the counter, has any air bubbles that are in there. Oops. Coming to the surface. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this charcoal soap, I'll put that guy in there, and we're going to put this down the middle of the soap. Make sure you get it to the end there. Oh, got a little bit on the mold. Hope that's not permanent. I'm just kidding. Okay, and we want to put it down the center. All right, and then we have all these messy things laying around. Okay, and then I'm gonna take, you could get a chopstick or anything else. I don't know, bamboo skewer might be a little bit too thin. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna swirl it in, okay? So we're gonna go like this. Can you see me doing this swirl like that? And we're just gonna go back and forth so that we can get the black down in as the swirl. Okay. And then if you want to, with a spoon, you can get fancy on the surface by just kind of like making a peak in the center. If you'd like to have a peak on your soap. Actually, this recipe, it says to insulate it if your room temperature is less than 70 degrees. So this type of recipe needs to be kept warm for 24 hours. So what I've done is I put a piece of parchment over the top because there's some little bits of soap there. And then I wrapped it in a bath towel and I put it in my bedroom where I have a space heater to keep it warm for 24 hours. So after 24 hours, we'll be pulling it out. And I've got a really awesome soap cutter that I think you'll enjoy watching me cut the soap. So I will see you tomorrow. And by the way, if I didn't remind you to like our video and subscribe for more notifications when we put other videos out. Meanwhile, for your viewing pleasure, Mr. Marco Polo doing his tricks. Sit. Yes. Nice. Down. Yes. Do pretty. Do pretty. Do pretty. Yes. Sit. Up. Yes. Down. Yes. That's a good boy. Let's do pretty. Pretty. Yes. Good boy. Yay. Oh yeah, one more thing. Read the part of the instructions about cleanup. So it's a funny thing. It's soap, but it's not soap yet. And so it takes a lot of soap to get the soap off your stuff. So just be prepared. Lots of hot water. I found that the easiest thing to do is to use hot water to rinse off as much of it as you can from all the bowls and the stick blender. Rinse it off with hot water first, and then use your soapy sponge and hot water to clean the rest of it off. Hey guys, it's Wanda, and I'm back with my soap. I want to show you how we're going to cut it. So I'm going to take the end off and slide this giant thing out. And then what you want to do is pull the sides away. There we go. And pull the ends away. And this is this is why I like this one in particular, because it's so flexible. And then we're going to stand it up and kind of undress it. This is what it feels like. Take that jacket off. Okay. And there it is. And I'm going to put it down on the parchment for a moment. Now you can see all of these little guys standing up here, and that's just the extra from when we put it in the mold. Very simple, just a common potato peeler. And I do keep this just for soap making. And you just drag it along the edge, and it takes all these guys off. Let me see what that is there. All right, so that's this side. After the soap has cured for 4 weeks, you can cut the edges of the soap. You can trim them up with this potato peeler if you'd like, if you like to have that beveled look on the edge of the soap. Okay, there we go. I think that's just about it. Oh, gotta knock this guy off here. It's better to get as much of this off as you can now, because in 4 weeks it's going to be really stiff. All right, let me clean up this mess. I'm curious as to how much this weighs, so I brought my little scale. You don't want to keep these pieces because they're really not soap yet. Okay. Okay, let's see. Should put it where I can see it. All right, it's 2 pounds and 12 ounces. That's pretty cool. Okay, we've got our cutter here. I wanted to show you something. There is a little bit of ash. I don't know if you can see that on here. Maybe if you zoom in, there's a little bit of ash on top, and that has to do with how I added the essential oils. I ended up just adding it to the black because I forgot to add it to the full mix, and sometimes that can create ash, but it's no big deal, and in the long run it's not going to hurt anything. So here we have our handy dandy cutter. I love this thing. Kind of same thing as like a bread cutter, right? So now we have 2 cutters. These usually come when you buy supplies for soap. We got your ridges cutter and you got your flat cutter. I'm going to do this one with the ridges just because I like the look of the ridges on the soap. And this is so simple. You just put it in that line and press it down. Okay? Lift it up. Put it in the next one and press it down. Lift it up. See how easy this is? Now, one thing that I do remember that I needed to do was to insert a piece of cardboard under here, because the cutter doesn't go all the way down. If you'll see the side of the cutter here, it doesn't take the soap all the way down. So we may have a little bit of an issue loosening it. It might not have been cut all the way down. So I put that cardboard piece in there. Okay. Looky there. Soap. I was out of soap. I have these little tiny bars of soap that look like pats of butter. They were kind of like my sample soaps. That's all I had left. It's been a long time since I've made soap. Okay. And I'm going to recut this last one here. So, here we are. There's our soap. There's that charcoal swirly in there with the frankincense, and I think I put some myrrh in there as well. Now over here, I want you to see this is where they're going to go, is on that right there. They need to be placed where they get a lot of air circulation, okay? Oh, I see this one's not cut, so we'll just go put this back down in there. There we go. They need to be on like a cookie cooling rack like that. And this is how they need to stay for 4 weeks is the best. All right, we are all done with these great bars of soap. I'm so excited. Now what I'm probably going to do is put them in the bedroom, maybe in a closet on a shelf, someplace where they can not touch each other. And after the month, then you can wrap them. I like to wrap mine in parchment for gifts, and I like to put a label with the name and also what ingredients are in it, especially the smell, so that people know what they're getting. And I hope you enjoyed following this. I mean, super simple, right? You just put all the stuff together and you got soap. So thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, click that like button, smash it if you'd like. Send us comments and anything else you'd like to see me make in the future. I'm up for it. Just let me know. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.